back to Open Line tonight. Thank you for being with us as we have these tough conversations about what is going on in our city and what needs to happen next. Robert Serrill and Odessa Kelly, both citizens of this community, both activists in this community, are joining us. And we're going to start by taking some of your calls. So let's get to it. Ann is up first. Ann, thank you for being with us as well. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Ann. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. I know that for at least a year and a half, the Community Oversight Board has had non-verbal and non-successful communication, more or less, with Chief Anderson. I know that this has been extremely difficult in fulfilling what should be what the citizens of Davidson County want fulfilled. And he has been vocal in the last 24 hours on television. Do you know if he has reached out to the Community Oversight Board? Has he reached out to Equity Alliance? It's one thing to go on public television and boast your praise. It's separate from what the officers went through. What Chief Anderson does is totally different, and he has been very difficult to work with, and the citizens have made it very, very distinct what they want in our city, and he's made fulfilling those desires very difficult. So what is your thought on that as these events unfold in our city?
Okay, fair question. Ann, thank you for calling in. I'm going to hang up so you can listen to your TV for the answer. Odessa and Robert, I don't know who wants to take it first. Well, I'll start with Odessa so we don't talk over each other. Chief Anderson and his role this weekend and in past issues, what are your thoughts?
I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to pay attention to Chief Anderson. Like, all my focus has been on, Black people and people, and how they're trying to vent their frustration and process these things. He did put out a statement. I think Ann asked if he talked to Equity Alliance. I don't know. You would have to, the best thing to do is to ask Tequila or Charlene. That's a good question. I don't know if he's reached out to them. But with that, as far as the Community Oversight Board, it has been difficult. It's been frustrating to watch that process happen. This is something that the city got together and behind overwhelmingly. And then for us not to give them the power that's needed, I think is wrong, right? We're always talking about wanting to build bridges and relationships and build trust. Well, that's one of the ways that you can start by building trust. Move some of the powers and authorities that are under Chief Anderson to the Community Oversight Board, so that way they can have real oversight, right? They should be able to have the legal autonomy to subpoena people and to, make a decision on whether offices are fit to, serve the community. And those are some of the ways that we can start. But yet it always becomes a struggle when we want to move powers from one individual and give it to the people. And that's in essence what the Community Oversight Board represents. It represents the will of the people and is a direct service. So, that's my answer as far as that. And on top of that, I think it goes back again to who has, there are a lot of protections that are built into our Nashville charter. I think if we want to be real about having equity in this city, we need to visit our Nashville, revisit that, look at that, and see if everything in there is amenable to causing equity and security and a fair playing field to all of Nashville citizens, or does it only protect a certain class of Nashville citizens?
Robert, your thoughts on the police department, the chief, the Community Oversight Board?
Man, we don't want dude. We don't want dude. We've been asking for him to step down. For some reason, he must got some dirt on somebody, because for some reason, they will not let him go. You can be a police officer, step down, because he just made some wrong calls, and I don't think Black community of Nashville, we ain't gonna get over that. We gonna remember that. That's why when you mentioned his name, I kind of cringe, because he's part of the problem. He's not gonna help in the solution. He fights against the Community Oversight Board more than anybody. He won't even show up. When they ask him to show up, he won't show up. He feel like he don't got to say nothing. He can just walk around with his title and everybody supposed to kiss his ass. and that ain't what it is. So I'll be hearing.
Let's go to our
Yeah,
next. Go ahead, Odessa.
That's exactly what I was talking about as far as like there are a lot of, every time people have called for the firing of Chief Anderson, and the explanation that's always given is that we can't fire him, right? So the reason that you can't fire him is because of whatever provision gives him that protection. So if people are calling for that, instead of throwing our hands up and saying there's nothing we can do, can we then go look at it, which I think is a Nashville charter that gives him that protection, right? Why is it that we as Nashvillians today don't have a right to look at how, constitutional laws have been built? And most of them were built in a time where, Jim Crow was well and alive, and they were built to keep us policing in the area. It is time that we look at these laws and see, are they equitable? Do they fit everyone? So.
The Metro Minority Caucus released some information today, a press release, and they're going to talk about it tomorrow. But one of the things that they are calling for is the city to hire a chief diversity officer. Do you think that's the right move?
It's better than nothing. At this point, forgive my frustration. I mean, look, we gotta just settle for what we can get, because we don't get nothing. Like if they're gonna give us something, bring it on.
And see, that's where I kind of differ. Like, it's not that I'm against a chief diversity officer, but to do what? Like, hire this person to do, but you got to have a chief diversity officer to tell you to do what's right, for you to be equitable, right? That's the same feeling I get when they say that our policemen, the police force needs better training. How you train someone not to be racist? Even I don't know what that training looks like. I mean, what is that, 90 hours of Bible study? I have no idea what that looks like. So, I mean, when we talk about these things about, like, that's an appeasement type thing, right?
Right.
If you
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, if you want to make this thing more equitable, I have never seen someone get off their 40-hour job and go shoot somebody. I don't get in trouble because they're too tired. So create more jobs. Create better job, workforce training. That's what we need in this city. That is the best way to fight crime and to fight inequity in this city, is to give people an opportunity to actually to make it. We underemploy so many people in this city who do the jobs that we need, the jobs that make this city the it city. Nashville became a thing. I saw a street musician on the corner for the first time, and I don't know how long. Because this city has gotten so bougie that all of a sudden it's not okay. We call street musicians panhandlers and all these other things. We have lost the soul of this city. And the only way that we start to get that back is if we start to build equity in the places that really bring about change. Building pathways out of poverty is how you keep a lot of this going on. Because if you look at all the individuals that got shot, look at George Floyd. He went back to Minneapolis to try to get his life together, right? Look at Philando Castile. I believe he was the manager at school, right? So we're looking at who was probably the working poor. All these individuals who the police take a license to shoot, it's not only just a race thing, it is a social economic class thing. And we have to fix that. For you to think that their life is not worth anything.
It really is peeling back an onion. I mean, I think that people get trapped on that outside layer, and it just goes so deep, doesn't it?
It does.
You gotta think, like Odessa was saying, what is somebody to do? Okay, you get out of prison, you want to change the law. You can't get a job. Nobody want to hire you because you're a felon. You can't find housing because you don't have money to get housing because you're a felon. And you wonder why recidivism rates are so high.
Yeah.
And then you call us thugs and this, that, and the third, but don't understand all we want is opportunity. You got to give someone an opportunity before you can judge them.
What made the difference for you, Robert?
I just wanted better. I mean, I felt that I deserved better, and I fought to get it. And it has brought me a long way, and I'm thankful to God for that. But I have light years to go due to this institutional racism and things that are going on. Like, I have too many strikes against me, and I'm fighting. I've been fighting from the back since I got out. What if I was given equitable opportunity? What if I was to receive the same platform and the same recognition as my fellow brothers and sisters that are white? Because I got friends that are white, and I don't hate and I'm not racist, but at the end of the day, there are a group of white America that would love to see us on our ass. And I'm sorry to be blunt about it, but I want it better, and I still want better, and I fight every day, hence as to why I'm on this interview.
That's right.
Because I'm not going to stop until our communities are recognized as equals, until we get what we got coming, and people start to respect us and treat us with the decency and respect that we deserve.
All right, we have to squeeze in another break here. When we come back, Taylor and Pat, I know you're on the line. Please stay where you are. We'll get to you right after this.